What's going on, Trey?
Oh, just working. Oh,
Working.
sorry, I'm a little late. I was
Oh, it's
out
all
some other
good. It
property.
was a technical error on our end.
Oh,
Yeah, I was looking all over for it, and I couldn't. I'm like, where is this thing? And I forgot about Slack.
Yeah. Hey,
But
Shelly.
oh, you can hear me, huh? Because I'm
I
on my
can hear
phone.
you.
Yeah, that's because I did it on my phone. It's my computer that won't, so I'll just use the phone.
Got it. Love it. All right. So, Trey, I'm going to pick on you for a minute. Are you still
oh
dialed in for
boy,
your test next week?
I still am.
Love it. You feeling confident?
Mm, little.
Well, that little confidence is going to go a long way, I promise you.
Yeah, I feel
So
better than I did last week. Let's just leave it at that.
that's a good thing. Feeling better than you felt the week before, the day before is always a positive. So, today we'll really kind of focus on review, guys. These are the days leading up to the test. Have each one of you, Shelly, I know you're still in the beginning phase. Where are you in your process?
I picked the date of do or die May 2nd. I'm just gonna go for it.
May 2nd.
Uh huh.
Okay, go for it.
And I've done the first two tests one time, and I
Okay,
did those to get the wrong answers because I know they give me the right ones, and then I can study those, and then I'm gonna go back and take them over again. I'll do test three today, and then I'm just gonna do those every day, and review my challenge is the math, the
uh,
formula.
and I can show you some real easy shortcuts because the amount of math you're actually going to have on your state exam, on your federal exam, is federal on your national exam is probably two questions, maybe, if you're lucky. I
Mm-hmm.
know a lot of people focus on the math side of the house, and they're like, all right, how do you do these formulas and what do they mean? And blah, blah, blah. Is that would be the furthest thing from my mind for two
Okay.
reasons. And I'll tell you why. One, which is if you think of the overall structure of any state exam, right? Or any multiple choice exam, but in this exam specifically, it's designed for you to demonstrate that baseline proficiency knowledge of the process of loan origination, right? MLO is not, it's a mortgage loan originator. So they're wanting to make sure that you understand the process of originating a loan. In other words, everything that's involved in getting a loan stood up both lawfully, ethically, and in compliance with all state and federal regulations. So the math portion, they're not looking to see, okay, let's see if Shelly knows her calculus or her, they're looking to make sure that the federal side of the house, the state side of the house, the procedures and flow are all at least part of your lexicon. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So as we kind of get started, and again, Trey's deep in the thick. You are too now, because today is the 10th of April. 10th of April, you might as well call it May 2nd. 10th of April, you might as well call it April 18th, right? It's around the corner. Days fly by quickly, folks. And so next thing you know, you're going to be going, oh, crap, my test is tomorrow morning. So let me share an interesting story with you. I may have shared it with both of you already. But I know the night before my exam, so you both know I was not successful on my first try for one reason and one reason only. It wasn't the material per se. It was the fact of I've been in business almost 30 years in real estate. So long time. I thought stupidly that I could rely on my extensive knowledge of real estate to pull me over the wall on this exam. I'm like, I
Mm-mm.
got this, no problem. I kind of halfway, Joel and I were kind of joking about certain things, and I'm like, I'm not worried. Now, granted, I got close with just my base knowledge of real estate. I got a 74, and you need a 75 to pass, right? But
Wow.
74 ain't no winner, right? 74 don't get that chicken dinner. 75, you're feasting and having brews with the guys, the people. So it really shook me because I was thinking I knew it. So what I learned was the meat of what they were actually asking of me. like we talked about last week, FACRA, the FACT Act, all those things, those were the things that I needed to concentrate on. Everything else was a breeze. So that's what I want you to really focus on. And I want to give you another quick study habit, Shelley, is try to avoid memorization. So one thing I heard you say, which was you're looking at, you'll take an exam and it gives you the answers right away and you studied what you missed. With this exam, they're variations of the same question. So like the FACT Act. Shelley, what's the FACT Act? Just what is
I don't know.
what is the
Right,
FACT?
right.
What does it stand for? F is what?
Oh God.
Federal.
What is F?
I don't know.
Come
Let me
on.
not guess.
Best test guess. Don't leave it blank.
Federal.
Okay. F stands for fair. Trey,
Oh,
what does the A stand for in FACT Act? Fair and accurate credit.
Reporting.
There you go. Right. That's FACRA. Fair. What's the FACT Act though?
fair and accurate credit. What is it?
Yeah, just what is it? What does that acronym mean? This is where I want you guys to focus. Is look at every acronym that's thrown at you and just know what the hell it is. Just the word of it. If you opened up the acronym, oh, this stands for this. Let me give you another one. This is an easy one. What's the SAFE Act?
Secure.
There we go. Ding, ding, ding. That's half the battle. Secure.
Yeah.
Secure and what?
Fair. Secure and fair.
Joel, can you help her out?
Save. It's specific.
Safe. So you guys get where I'm going on this, right, Trey?
Yeah.
Kelly? It's not the math. Don't even lose an ounce of sleep over the math. Really dive down deep into which acronym, what the acronym actually says. Because inside the body of the acronym, fair and accurate credit reporting, like the FACRA, you know that it's about credit reports, right? It's about reporting of credit. So once you open it up, it really kind of starts to tie in what's associated with that particular act, right? Well, last week we talked about HMDA, Home Mortgage Disclosure Act. We know the disclosure part, and again, this is a little trick. Disclosure is about telling the truth. Agreed? So if disclosure is about telling the truth, what is the big act that we know that talks always about telling the truth?
Tilla.
Tilla the Godzilla, right? Tilla
I
the
got
Godzilla.
that one down.
You got that one down, right? But you see the association. You hear disclosure, you think of telling the truth. Boom, Tilla. It doesn't matter if you know the depth of it. It's the fact of how is it associated with what's at hand, right? Nobody's expecting you guys to be experts at this on test date, but it is an opportunity. Just if I were going to tell you to memorize anything, memorize the acronyms. Between now and next week, between now and May 2nd, you should know those acronyms like the back of your hand and their associated regulations. In other words, TILA is regulation what?
Z.
Regulation Z, right? Know those. TILA is regulation Z. TILA stands for what?
Truth in Lending.
Truth in Lending Act, right? So those are the things that'll get you over the wall. That's going to form the bulk of your questions. Those kinds of things. How about what is a 1003?
The loan application.
Loan application. What is section 8 on the 1003? Joel, it is a section, right?
What was that?
Right?
Sorry, I was.
So I was asking them
Yeah.
what section 8 on the 1003.
Isn't that Humda, where they ask?
Okay, very good. So Joel, what is Humda? So Joel answered it in a different way, but I asked what is 1003. Trey said 1003 is the loan application. And then I said, what is section 8 on the 1003? Your answer options could be, is it HMDA? Is it HIPAA? Is it TILA? Is it FACT, right? HMDA, Home Mortgage Disclosure Act. So that section 8 on the 1003 is all about the demographic information, what race they are and all those things. And if they fail to give that information, you by law are required to do what?
Judge it on appearance. If it's a
Boom!
person.
High five, air high five, Trey. It is absolutely based on what you visually see, you're required to fill it out. Okay. Again, you're going to have something like that on your exam. If someone does not want to fill out section 8 on the 1003, what must you do as the loan originator? You must complete it based on your visual observation. You don't have to know that they're not Indian or Middle Eastern or Arabian or Egyptian or African or any of the above. It's based on your physical appearance. If they look a certain way to you, that's just an observation. Doesn't have to be accurate per se. Does that make sense? So
Yes.
when you break down the categories of the exam, you're going to have 23% that focuses on mortgage laws, and these are approximate. You may have 23% that focuses on general mortgage knowledge. Mortgage loan origination activities, that might be 25%. Ethics, you might have 16% regarding ethics, and then uniform state content, which is pretty universal, things that happen across each and every state. Okay, so the studying post all of the coursework that you've done is really the key. It's really kind of isolating and highlighting, like I said, the acronyms. Those are going to be the thing. You need those down pat. Those are the things that will get you over the wall, because while I asked the question, what is the 1003? And Trey said the 1003 is the loan application.
Mm-hmm.
It could be asked, what is the loan application? And it may list it out differently, the 1066, the 1019, the 1003, or the 1164. It could ask it in a different way. Same thing when it talked about section 8. It could ask in a different way. It could actually spell out HMDA. And what does HMDA stand for again? HMDA stands for, what's the H?
Was it mortgage disclosure?
Yep, Home Mortgage Disclosure Act. That's it, HMDA. So yeah, that's kind of, so does that make sense, Shelley?
Yes.
Don't get so deep into the math. The math is not important.
Got it.
Okay. I would fall down on the floor with my leg twitching if you had more than 2 or 3 questions of math. That would be highly unusual. Okay.
Mhm.
Let's get into the mock exam a little bit. Okay. And these are ones that are frequently missed. Which of the following is the most common type of mortgage fraud? A, fraud for profit. B, spousal fraud. C, fraud for property. Or D, application fraud. We've talked a lot about this in the last 10 minutes.
Fraud for property.
I said profit.
Most common.
Oh,
You want to look for words that cue you in. Most common.
Mhm. I would say property. I'm sorry, profit. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm.
Okay, you said profit.
I said property.
How about application, guys?
Oh, was that one of them? I didn't catch that one.
Wow. Oh, yeah, there it is. I didn't see that either.
Spousal fraud, fraud for property, and application fraud.
Oh,
Yeah.
What's a good example of application fraud that happens every day, all the time?
Exaggerating your employment.
exaggerating your income from employment, right? You
Mhm.
want to buy a $700,000 house and you're like, oh yeah, I make $200,000 a year. You made $200,000 that one year, but normally you make about 70,000, right? That would be application fraud. And that's the most common. Again, we think it's no harm to
D.
fudge numbers here and there, but that's actual fraud, right?
So for this one, this was one of the trick questions actually. So in itself, the application is a lot of fraud happens through the application, but in terms of the category that they're asking for what type of fraud, it's really fraud for profit and fraud for property. In this case,
What?
yeah, in this case, the
Okay, guys, I'm sorry, I didn't put this slide together. Joel, take it. My error.
in this case, it would be fraud for property because that's when someone's filling out an application, right? And yes, it involves a lot of applications being filled out incorrectly, but what they're looking for is the two common types, property or profit. And the most common is property. Fraud for property involves property means fraud by the borrower and sometimes with the assistance of an MLO to attain property. Fraud for profit, however, it refers to industry insiders using their specialized knowledge or authority so that they can commit or facilitate fraud. For example, like a bank officer, an appraiser, sometimes even MLOs. So just keep that in mind. What happens often is that they falsify income assets when they're
Is
submitting.
there an answer key to this, Joel?
This came from one of our practice tests.
I know, but is there an answer option that breaks this down?
No, this is just what I created through the slide.
So as we're going over these questions, there's no answer key to each question.
Yeah, there's not. I should have put it in there, but I just had it in the back of my head.
Got it. Okay, because guys, don't mean to walk you down a weird path. I've had a question that was similar to this, and that's what it was. So, fraud for property, fraud for profit. Let me do this differently. Let's pull up a mock exam because I'd rather that there be an answer key associated. That way, I'm not leading you down a false path either.
This was actually the trickiest question, I believe, on exam number 1. The hardest question. I think almost everyone got this question wrong. And this was an example of how they want to trick you.
Well, the leader got it. The leader of the class got it wrong. So
this was the hardest question by far. Anyone could have got it wrong, D. I even feel like experts could have got this
That's
wrong.
probably one of the few I got right.
you nailed it. You nailed it. And I'm sitting there going, nope, you're wrong. Nope, that's not it. Let me pull up the mock exam with an answer block. That way that feels a little better.
Sure.
Okay. Okay.
So just to go further on that answer is that a lot of times falsifying your income or assets, that could be fraud for property, inflating your self-employment income, or putting in a false job. That's fraud for property, even though it's fraud on an application. Identity theft, you can also consider that fraud for property when a borrower tries to obtain a mortgage loan against a property owned by another person without their knowledge, or a buyer uses a straw buyer, someone that is not them to obtain property. But you can see that they're all similar in that it's in order to obtain property.
Got it.
That makes sense.
And that makes perfect sense, Joel. That's how they're kind of trying to structure it. All right, here we go. Why don't we do this? Da-da-da! Okay, give me just one quick. All right, here we go. Let's share this. You asked for it. You got it. Let's do some flashcards. All right, where are you guys? What is going on with my system? Can you guys still see me?
Yep, we can
You,
see.
you froze. on my
Okay,
end.
there we go. Can you see me now?
Yes.
Perfecto. All right, here we go. Question 1. What law deals with credit, APR, and advertising of consumer loans?
Trilla.
Which one?
Tilla. Is it?
Tilla.
Yeah, Tilla?
Anything?
Kelly, what do you think?
I think it's Tilla.
It's something that says fair debt relief.
Don't know what that is. Fair debt relief? Let me ask again. Think about what it's asking you. What law deals with credit, APR, and advertising of consumer loans?
There's a key word in this.
There's no credit in, there's no debt in there, Shelly.
Okay, is it RESPA?
There's a key word in there in the question that you want to identify.
What's the key word, Joel?
It's asking for advertising.
RESPA?
And okay. So Trey, you said what?
Tilla.
And you said RESPA. Tilla. Regulation Z. Truth in lending. Right?
Mhm.
Truth in lending. So anytime you see advertising and APR and credit, they're saying you're giving this information to the public, advertising. You need to tell the truth. How much is it going to be? Right? We know that if the APR is there, no other credit terms need to be addressed. But without the APR, if it mentioned, for instance, 8%, you'd have to list everything, including APR. You couldn't have a number by itself. You couldn't have 8% by itself, because what's that based on? What index are you using? But as Joel said, the key word is advertising. I'm giving that out to the public. And of course, that's TILA, truth in lending, right? Advertising and telling the truth is all about the same thing.
Yep, and you can also use APR too. APR is always going to be associated, just like Dee said, with TILA. Anytime you have any numbers that are given out in advertising, you have to mention the APR.
All right, question 2. Which regulation prohibits kickbacks?
You got this, Shelly.
Yeah, that's the RESPA.
That is RESPA. Which part of RESPA is it? 6, 8, 9, or 10? Don't get scared.
Trey, take that one.
No, Trey's name's not Shelly. Which one? That's all right. If you don't know, that's just a bonus point. But you did get RESPA for sure. RESPA, Title 8 under RESPA prohibits kickbacks. Good job, Shelly. You got RESPA. All right, Trey. Which regulation requires the lender to cancel PMI when the loan reaches a 78% loan to value?
What is it?
Yep.
HPA?
HIPAA, 100%.
Okay.
HIPAA deals with PMI, not MIP. HIPAA is all about conventional loans, not government-backed loans. HIPAA. Good job, Trey. All right, Shelly. Which regulation prohibits fee splitting? There's a theme here going on for you.
There's RESPA.
Boom. And which regulation under RESPA? Which title under RESPA?
That's another problem. I don't know.
No. What did we just say? Don't think about what you don't know. Think about what it could possibly be.
6.
So we just talked about 8, which is all about kickbacks, fee splitting, all that. So RESPA, Title 8, but you got the RESPA part, right? You got 2 RESPA. All right, Trey. X is the letter used to describe which regulation?
RESPA.
Boom, RESPA. We're
Or
killing it
REXPA.
on REXPA. Absolutely, REXPA. You know, I got to tell you, when I
Video
took
has
mine,
really helped.
huh?
Video has really helped.
Oh, you did
The
the
4-hour video.
hard
Of,
traces. That's what I
yes.
actually looked at. That's what I looked at before I took my exam. That
So
4-hour
what?
video was amazing.
Okay, where is this video, and why don't I have a copy?
Joel
Yes.
can send it to you, but it's
It's on
also
Slack.
something you can find on YouTube.
It's in our Slack channel, Shelly. I showed it to you when I gave you access. I'll show it to you again.
Okay,
It's very good. It's
if
very
it's
helpful.
there, I'll find it.
Incredibly helpful. I was just like, oh wow, she's got it going on. I mean, I'm sure Joel told you that the person, the presenter in that, she's passed on, but she was fantastic. She was fabulous.
Amazing. I think she really helped me pass the test.
Mhm.
I mean, I immediately turned Joel onto it. I was like, oh, I saw this thing on YouTube. You got to go ahead. I mean, much to the point to where I even bought the course, because I was just like, wow, there was no other resource that I was looking at that helped me to get over the wall like this particular video, for sure. All right. RESPA is the acronym used to describe which law? I think that's you, Trey.
Yes. I suppose. Real estate. Something for
Settlements, real estate settlement,
Real Estate Settlement Protection Act.
Procedures Act,
Procedure Act. Okay.
Real Estate Settlement Procedures Act.
That's
Trey, just for a bonus point, how long has RESPA been around? What year did it start? Do you know?
2000 and
And
was it 2004?
yeah, I wish that was the year I was born too. 2000. Hey, don't you all laugh so hard, okay? Joel, or Shelly, what year was RESPA? What year did it start?
2008.
Okay, Joel, what year?
You got me. I really don't know what year they started.
Guys, 1974.
Well, what then that must be because I was in the business real estate in 2002. I remember a couple of years later, title companies could no longer help out the agents with their, photo shoots. So what was that? Just because they added a section to RESPA? I guess RESPA was already there.
No, all of those things existed, but like in any other industry, like, what's the max speed limit in Texas?
It depends.
70.
Right? It depends. There's some places that are 70, just like California.
Yeah,
There's some places that are
75.
70, 75. But either way, there's a max speed limit. But let me say, when you're on 65, do you do 65? No, you probably do 70, 75 or more. When you're on 75, you probably do 80, 85 or more, right? It's just we're very lax. The reason why RESPA really got its bell rung and shaking the trees is because from 2003 to 2007, it was the Wild West show. People were doing the most criminal crap ever. Trey, I too remember the days prior to the internet to where title companies, real story, is my first real estate job. I was in Santa Barbara, more specifically a city called Goleta, which is a little tiny suburb of Santa Barbara. And we didn't have a computer. So, computers were like, man, that was the gold. Everybody stood around it like it was fire. My office got a computer, but we didn't have a printer. So our title rep came in one day. They brought donuts and sandwiches and all kinds of stuff. And we're like, oh, cool. What's going on? What kind of party is this? And they bring in this big, huge ass box. What do you think's in this box? A dot matrix printer. If you guys remember those. Joel, do you remember what a dot matrix printer is? Have you ever seen one?
But they probably have.
They're real quiet.
Super quiet, right? It doesn't disturb anybody in the office whatsoever. And everybody stood around waiting their turn. Hey, is that my file? No, that's not my file. Okay, well, I'm waiting let me know when it prints out. But the title company gave us a dot matrix printer, and we were all stoked. We were like, "Oh my god, this is going to make life a breeze." But that was when title companies were doing all kinds of fun stuff for you. They were sponsoring you to go on trips. You remember that? They were letting you go on trips, and I remember I got to go to DC one time, and it was just like I was like, "Yeah, I don't want to spend the money. It's okay, we'll cover it." Really? Well, shit, I'm going to Washington, D.C. That's what it was. So, Real Estate Settlement Procedures Act, as I digress.
Okay.
All right, Shelley. What type of mortgage requires a non-refundable funding fee? Thank you for your service.
Veterans.
Oh, ding, ding, ding. VA loan.
Mhm.
And do you know how much that fee is, Shelley?
No, $3,000.
No,
I keep thinking 3%.
less than that. Joel, do you know how much it is?
1,000.
Yeah.
I remember that one. 1,000.
All right.
$1,000.
All right, Trey. What is the provision in a mortgage enabling a lender to demand full repayment if borrower defaults on the loan?
Oh, is that the acceleration clause?
Good job.
Not acceleration.
Oh, I know. What's the word?
That is, it is acceleration.
Accelerate. Yeah, because they accelerate the
Is
loan.
it acceleration or escalation?
Oh, escalation. Is it?
Right?
Wait. Is it escalation? Yeah, I guess
Acceleration.
Oh, it is acceleration. Gosh. It's acceleration clause, right? That allows the lender to accelerate the full balance made payable as a result of the borrower's default. Acceleration clause. Good job. All right, Shelley, what is the provision in a mortgage enabling a lender to demand full repayment if the borrower transfers the loan?
Not reassignment. Oh my God. I was trying to do that myself with something. So what is that word?
Hint,
See, my thing.
other clause.
Yeah, I know. It's called
multiple choice questions here.
yeah, no, I tell you, give me the multiple choice, I'll see it. but memorizing, that's not gonna work. But when I see multiple see multiple
So,
choice
Shelley,
answers,
what do you think the answer is?
what is it when you can transfer? Because I was trying to do it myself. I can't think of the word right now.
Can you see my screen, Shelley?
Alienation clause.
Oh, alienation clause, right? I'm alienating. In other words, I'm separating from this particular loan because I sold it or I'm transferring it. An alienation.
Alienation.
What does CFPB stand for?
Oh my
I think
God.
that's you, Trey.
Yes. They're the police.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of. They're kind of the police. What does the C stand for?
That's what I'm having difficult. See.
So our whole job or the whole purpose of this is to protect the who?
Correct.
Okay, I know this one.
Consumer.
Consumer something protection
Finance.
bureau.
I'm hearing
Protection.
a lot of feedback.
Yeah.
Consumer
Financial
finance protection.
protection bureau.
Protecting bills.
Yeah, I got a case in there right now.
I think.
Oh my God.
I got a case in there right now against my credit card company. So
Okay. Oh, Jackie's on. I knew I kept hearing another voice. I'm in a different screen. Okay.
Yeah. I haven't started yet. I'm just guessing.
That's all right. That's all we can do is guess. That's what tests are all about, right? All right. What two laws created the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau?
Dodd-Frank.
Okay. And
Frank, yeah.
My
Is it
goodness.
G.
I see it.
true?
Consumer Finance Protection Act.
So that's a tricky one, Trey. I feel like the Dodd-Frank, if they're going to ask you, they're going to ask you for that one. Because the other one is not as quite well known and hasn't been taught as much. But just knowing the Dodd-Frank is really good.
You guys are killing it. Which regulation is designed to help meet credit needs of the communities in which it operates? So, operative word is communities. Let's give a little flash. Is this Trey or Shelley or Jackie? Anyone can take it.
Yeah. Tough for grabs.
Yeah.
What do we think, guys?
Which regulations is that?
Credit needs.
Oops.
Yeah.
Community Reinvestment Act, right?
Oh my
Credit Needs Community Reinvestment Act. You're probably going to see maybe a couple of questions on this. CRA, Community Reinvestment Act. All right. What does ECOA stand for again, guys?
Equal Credit Opportunity Act.
Boom. Yes. ECOA. Be equal, right? Regulation B. Be equal. Under ECOA rules and regulations, how many days does the borrower have to request a copy of the appraisal report if the application was denied?
30.
How many?
30.
Shelley said 30. Trey, how many days?
For some reason, 60's coming to my mind, but
60. Okay. Jackie, how many days?
I thought it was 30.
You thought it was 30?
Oh my God.
90 days. 90
90.
days. Again, how many days does the borrower have to request a copy of the appraisal report if the application was denied?
and
90.
how many days does a lender have to provide it? Is it 30?
30.
Okay.
Oh.
Under ECOA rules and regulations, if an application for credit is denied, and if requested by the borrower, how many days does the lender have to provide a copy of the appraisal report?
30 days. 30 days.
30 days, right? Trey answered both of those. If a loan application is approved under ECOA rules and regulations, when must a copy of the appraisal be provided to the borrower? This is our last question, guys.
Application.
Could you repeat the question?
If a loan application is approved
Mhm.
under ECOA rules and regulations, when must a copy of the appraisal be provided?
3 days?
Shelley said 3 days. Trey?
Before closing?
Okay, Trey said before closing. Jackie?
I think 7 days.
7 days.
3 days.
Oh,
So you were closest, Trey, 3 days prior to closing. 3 days prior to closing. But you got the closing all wrapped up in that. Guys, I know we're working on a flashcard deck for you. Joel, do you want me to share this?
Yeah, so I'll have this flashcard out to you guys by next week. I'm talking to Jackie and Shelley. Jackie, I'm gonna reach out to you separately about the next steps to get you going. Shelley, I'll point you in the right direction for the videos. I think
Thank
Trey
you.
has everything.
Yeah, I'm a visual person. That'll be great. Because like I said, when I'll give me the test. You know, when if I could see the multiple choices, I'm pretty good at that. And just to piggyback, when I took my broker's exam the first time, I got a 74. That thing hurt. I cried all the way from Oakland.
I bet.
But I went right back.
Yeah.
Then I went right back and passed this the next week, the next
That's
available test, and passed it. So I totally know that feeling.
Yeah.
I saw the 73 is passed. Did you
75.
pass? Oh, 75.
Yeah,
No, you need a 75 to pass.
70 to 75.
So I have a question, and I haven't started it, but they have two kind of courses. One is from the DRE, another one is from California somewhere, financial something.
You want to
Uh,
do the DRE one. The other one is
Yeah,
the
you don't want to do the DFPI.
Oh, okay, so that we don't want to do that. Okay.
And
Awesome.
that's the beauty of it. You guys are already halfway there with your license. So the DRE is for you guys.
Mhm.
Awesome. Guys, you were great today. Sorry for the delay in it. It was a little bit of confusion, but you know, you guys are right on point with what this looks like. Trey, I can't wait to hear your good news. Don't hesitate to ping me and Joel in between now and then. And if you need anything, you know,
Good luck.
good
Trey,
luck.
Trey,
Thank you.
Trey, what is your date?
What?
The 18th of April.
Oh boy.
Hey,
Yeah.
Trey, why don't you let us know what areas you feel like you need the most help in from the divided categories, and then D and I can try to help with next week before your test to focus on that area.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Awesome, man.
Awesome.
So I still have a question regarding this. And you said that we should go with the DRE and the stuff. What's the
That's
difference when you pass that? DH, you know, because last time I think what's the problem is I took that course.
You took which course? The DFPI?
Yeah,
Oh, that's why. Maybe that you
that's why I missed something. Oh, I don't know.
maybe. Yeah, I'm not sure, but yeah, you're definitely wanting to do the DRE point with the UST.
Okay, so when you get a license, it's gonna be the same, right? It doesn't really
No.
matter.
It,
No?
it matters. So when you submit your application, if you submit a DFPI one, it's non-refundable and you have to resubmit for a DRE. In our case, you guys are all going for DRE licenses as a real estate agent. And Trey, this doesn't apply to you because this is
Okay.
just.
I was like, I haven't heard any of this before.
Yeah, Trey, it's something similar with Texas is SMO and I think it's like the OCCC. You're taking the SMO one.
Okay.
Okay.
So I was just wondering, it doesn't matter which course you take the same test, right?
Right, that is correct.
And you get a license, it's equally licensed.
But the
right?
licenses are different.
Correct. The licenses are definitely different, Jackie.
So
So
okay.
the
So it's
DFPI
the
one,
same information, but the licenses and what the licenses do, because DFPI is for California, but the UST is for all states. It's standardized for all states, which means that when you pass that particular one, you're able to practice in all of our states, in all the states.
I see. Okay. So I guess I have to start over again.
It's only 20 hours. Look at it this way. Hey, I was going to wash the car. It rained. I got to wash the car so it's clean, right?
Okay.
and I think it's good to just start, since it's been a long period of time, just to kind of refresh yourself. And Jackie,
Okay.
I'll call you right after this just so we can talk about which classes are the best for you.
Okay. Great.
Cool.
Okay, guys.
Good luck.
All right.
Bye, everybody. Trey,
Thank
can't
you.
wait to hear your success.
Yes, good luck. Good luck. Good luck, Trey.
All right. Appreciate it. Bye-bye.
All right.